Hey, sup guys, my name is Del and welcome to Reckless 2K. So for this video we're going to discuss what are the things that we need to know regarding NBA 2K Mobile. All of the things that you need to know to improve your MyTeam, all in all, and to compete over the events that we have so far. By the definition itself, this is an in-depth guide, so this might take long. We will discuss everything briefly, so for you to know what else you needed to improve your MyTeam. So if you're new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, thanks for subscribing, and please double check all of the description for the newly posted videos that I made, because I'll be posting or informing you by description all of the projects that I'm doing for the guides that I'll be making in the future. And just to let you know, we're using a Domination gameplay video as a background video. I chose this just to provide you insight on how I play Domination, and as of this moment we are trying to KS or Ninja. I call this Ninja whenever to save more time. I did manage to Ninja this one, so if you wanted to know how to KS or Ninja someone in Domination, please click on this link at the upper right corner of the screen. So anyways, without further ado, let's dive right in. So first, we're discussing about whenever the season starts, what will happen with your cards. So just to let you know that the top 25 cards, or the top 25 highest cards that you have, even though if it's a team card or whatsoever, as long as it's the top 25 card that you have, it will turn into mentors. And aside from that, all of the cards that you own that is not top 25 will be trashed. So if you have a question what will happen to your crew or your my player for the part, well, for that, since it was implemented at the mid stage part of season 2, then I'm not really sure, because on season 1 what happened is all of the team cards or all of the cards that you had previously turned into mentors. But just to let you know, I didn't start when the timeout season 1. I just recently started around July for this game. So you are now thinking, how would I know? Because I just did some research on the previous players that started season 1 in Apple, in iOS, and all of their cards were turned into mentors. I mean not all of them, but the top 25 cards turned into mentors. And what will happen to the gears though? Well, for the gears, we're not really sure as well, because it was implemented on season 2. So I'm not really sure if the gears will be trashed as well, or will reset as well, like the theme cards or the cards that you have. So at this moment, we just know that all of the team cards or all of the top 25 cards that you have will turn into mentors. And by that, I would suggest for you to save all of the upgrades for your top cards or your top first team card. Just save it or more, so by the end of the time that they announce that the new season will come up, we will be notified as well. There will be like a timeline for us to do some events and stack up something for us to start anew on season number 3. So I would suggest for you to get all of the upgrades ready, so before the time that the season starts, then upgrade all of your cards if ever you can. But I would suggest for you to upgrade the best cards that you have, or like the top 2 teams that you have. Just upgrade them as far as you can. So next up, we will discuss about the stat line or the stats for each player. Okay, and what do they do? And as you can see, there's no quickness in here, so sometimes you will think why the player is so much slower than the others and why he dribbles so much low. We will discuss that later on, just to let you know, because the quickness depends on the power difference for the team itself or the power difference for the matchup. So first we will discuss the stat of defending. So for defending, as you can see here, it says here, the description says coverage, blocking, and stealing. What do you mean by coverage? Coverage is for, can it reach or to distract someone whenever he's trying to shoot. So to add to that, if ever someone has a low defending stat line, you can pass through them instantly, or like seamlessly, like nothing, doesn't care at all, like it won't budge, or you won't have any like collision animation whenever you try to drive through them. So for blocking and stealing, it's self-explanatory, we don't need to tackle on that one up. And the one that was not indicated in here was the defense awareness. Defense awareness, if you guys would want to know, defense awareness is the time that the AI is stupid, whenever the AI is stupid or not whenever it comes to defending, like having someone on the 3-point line, like far away from the 3-point line, not defending at all, something like that. It's because of the defending stats, and later on we will tackle that briefly, because it affects as well as the power difference or the power differential for each opponent that you have. Okay, for the next one, we're going to discuss post scoring. So as you can see here, offense from close in, so it's like the post thing up. And just to let you know, I don't really mind for post scoring thing, aside from the one that I have for the centers and the power forwards that I have, because it's stupidly I mean, it's too stupid to do the post up in game. It's really hard. You need to do this kind of stuff, you need to follow the arrow whatsoever, and it's really stupid, and it's a waste of time to do it, by the way. So just wait for the CPU to post up, pass it, and then do two post up moves much better. So for post scoring, it's self-explanatory. As long as you have a good post scoring, then he's really good at post scoring. That's it. So let's move up now to the next one, which is playmaking. Okay, for the description says accurate passes and knowing when to pass. So for playmaking, it is whenever you try to do to pass to a running teammate, the AI, if it has a good playmaking ability, it knows where to pass advancedly or exactly for the player. And whenever you're trying to do like a layup and you did press the pass button, then most surely it will fail. But however, if it has a good playmaking stat line, then it won't. So it would be best for those who had a great playmaking. And aside from that, it is not indicated in this one. Well, it is not indicated in the stat description, but just to let you know that playmaking affects on how fast the player can dribble out the moves. Okay, on how he can execute the dribble moves, how fast he can be effective with the dribble moves as well. So just to let you know, and just to let you know that this stat line for playmaking is connected to shoot off dribble and agility as well. So just to explain more further, that for those stat lines, if ever like a character has 5 playmaking, 5 shoot off dribbles, then 5 agility, then it means that he is really fast and he is really good when it comes to dribbling. Okay, let's call them the natural 5s, nat 5s, for having 5 shoot up dribbles and agility and playmaking. So for the nat 5s, they have 5 dribble, shoot up dribble, playmaking, and agility. 5 bars of it. So for them, they are the best characters or players that can do angle breakers, can easily do angle breakers, and what else? Staggering opponents when it comes to dribble moves. Okay, let's compare Kobe Bryant's skill stat line. Kobe has 5 shoot-up dribble and 5 agility, while for his playmaking he has only 4. Even though if we added a shoe or like here for him to have like 5 or to max out his, and since he has like 4 bars for playmaking, and whenever you try to use him as to when to use him in dribble moves, then you will definitely see or observe that his dribble moves is way much slower than James Harden. Okay, I think that should be it for now for the playmaking. So let's move on now to 3-point shot. So for the 3-point shot, as long as you have a good stat line, a nat 5 or much better nat 5s for your point guard and shooting guard, and sometimes small forwards as well. So you will have a better chance of winning whenever if it comes to events like domination. I would prefer to have this for your point guard and your shooting guard. And just to let you know that power depends, or the power difference depends on the handicap or the stat line as well, because I'll be explaining the power later on what does it do on your team. Okay, and now let's go to the next one, rebounding. So rebounding, well, self-explanatory. As long as you have great stat line for rebounds, then most of the time you'll be getting the rebound offensively or defensively. So next one would be mid-range shooting. So that would be the 2 points spot up shooting. So if you have a good stat line for 2s, it's like 3-point shot as well, then most of the time it will fall off as long as there's no contested shots whenever it comes to events that you have, because for events there is a difference, and for power differences as well there is a difference. I'll be explaining that later on. Okay, next one would be strength. So what is strength? Usually you don't use it, but however the AI, or whenever you're trying to make a contact dunk, then this is time that you may need it, because for strength it is for box outs, for contact dunks, and for contact layups, and for you to finish your layup even though in contact. And there are times that it affects whenever you do dribble moves, and whenever you got like had a collision to a player defending you, there are most of the times that you will fall to the ground and left the ball free for turnover for the computer or for the defending player to steal it. There will be moments, so if ever that's the case, then I would suggest for you to upgrade your strength for whoever is having those difficulties for the dribble moves. So now let's go to layups and dunks. Okay, for layups and dunks, first let's go and talk about the dunks. Whenever your character is on a dunk animation, most of the time it will fall. It will succeed on scoring whenever a player is on a dunk animation, aside from contact dunks as well though. For contact dunks, it will affect everything else, as long as you see the contact dunk animation that you manage to fail or reach the ring. There are moments like that. And for layups as well, if you're going to do a layup, it affects your layup whenever for this stat line. I mean, it affects your layup or the chance for you to hit a layup if you have a low layup stat line though. That would be it. Okay, let's move to agility. So like I said a while ago, agility is connected to playmaking and shoot up dribble. So aside from that, agility is used for your character's leaping ability. The greater the agility, the longer you can dunk. I mean, the farther you can dunk or do an dunk animation for that character. So that would be it. Okay, last but not least, the shoot-off dribble. So for the shoot-off dribble, this is, like I said, connected as well to agility and playmaking. So for shoot-off dribble, just on insight, this is for the shots that you do whenever you double tap the shooting button whenever you're not posting up. Okay, so doing a turnaround shoot affects this one, or having like a running shot, this affects this one as well. And doing like dribble moves, then shoot, then after that pull up a jump shot, it affects this one as well. It helps, or it is one of the ingredient on how, if ever you wanted to do those kinds of stunts. So now that we've discussed everything up regarding the stat line, let's now proceed with the power differences, or what does it do for the power, and the power regarding the matchups as well. And let's take this one as an example. So by the way guys, just to take note, this differs depending on your rank. Okay, I mean on what tier are you in. Okay, or if ever you are at the max tier, it depends on the classification on what league you are in Domination. Okay, so it matters, but just to give you an insight, okay, for the power difference affects your stat line as well. Let's say you have a player that has natural 5 for all of the stat lines. Okay, then your opposing team has 8k or much higher power than you. Then all those nat 5s that you have for that player will go down 2 bars, just to let you know. So for me, my calculation is per 5k difference, 1 bar handicap for your current player. And just to show this one, okay, so aside from power, the difference, I mean the power difference for each matchup takes effect as well, if you don't notice. But this only takes effect whenever the opponent has a higher power than you. If it has a lower power than you, then it doesn't affect anything. So just to let you know, so as you can see here, all of his players has a higher power than me. Point guard, shooting guard, especially shooting guard, small forward, and power forward aside from the center. So just to let you know, if it's the power difference for the matchup will be like 5k or higher, then it will affect the stat line as well. So for Kobe, and so let's say if I have Kobe having natural 5 for all of the stat line, then because of the power difference of 30,000 to 22,000 for the team power difference, it will deduct like 2 stat line for the handicap. So I will be having just like 3 stat lines. And then for the matchup, since it's like 40k, so it will affect or bring it down to -2 as well. So just to let you know, 10k difference for the power matchup affects 1 stat line, 1 bar for the stat line for every stat line that you have. So the only way for me to score in here would be for my center, which has a higher chance or a higher probability of making the shots. because I have much power for my center than he is. So I guess that's it for power differences and power for each lineup. I'll be explaining this one for my next video regarding on how to prepare or preparation for the events, upcoming events, just to prepare yourself for the upcoming events that will take place. I'll be making a video for that, an in-depth guide as well. I'll be putting or including the power difference as well on that one. This is just for like an insight for you, since we have a lot of to discuss to this, on this video. So next, what are we need to discuss? So next one is gold, okay, or the VC. Where do you usually use your VC? If you're a free-to-play player, I would suggest for all of the VCs that you'll be getting, spend it on the event or a domination or any limited time events for you to refill the energy bars. Now that I would suggest, because I won't suggest for you to give buy packs, because even though if you are gonna waste your energy or waste your gold if you are paid to play as well, I wouldn't suggest that, because the packs are packing shits, you know. Okay, next up, let's move on to options. If you're a new player, I would suggest for you to go to options and turn on the dribble moves. Okay, then aside from that, just scroll down a bit and you will see this one that says stop player to pass. I would recommend for you to turn it off, because if you're using the mobile, if you don't have any controllers to use or to play the game with, then I would suggest for you to turn that one off, because it might affect your gameplay, because there would be like accidental passes that would take place. I would suggest for you to turn it off. So I guess that will be it for now, and I'll be making an additional video for the things that you need to know regarding 2K Mobile. So once again, thanks for tuning in, and peace out.